They say time only flows in one direction. But in a small town in Oregon, a woman challenged that idea, with ink, paper, and a name no one could trace. Alice Morrow. Between 1997 and 2007, she sent exactly 28 letters. Each one arrived before the events she described ever happened. But no one ever saw her. And she never made a single mistake. It all began at the Marion Public Library. A single envelope appeared in the drop box one cold morning in February 1997. Inside, a typed letter, postmarked with no date, addressed to whomever keeps the records. It predicted a gas leak at the local high school. That happened 2 days later. No sender, no fingerprints, no explanation. At first, it was dismissed as a coincidence. But then came a second letter. This one predicted the drowning of a child in the river on April 12th. That tragedy occurred on the exact date, down to the hour. Each time a letter came, it warned of something avoidable. But no one ever believed it fast enough. The name signed at the bottom? Alice Morrow. No one in Marion County had that name. No birth records, no tax history, no ID. The name didn't exist, except in those envelopes. Librarians kept the letters in a locked drawer. Some wanted to alert the police, but others feared they'd stop coming. By the time the fifth letter predicted the factory fire that killed 7 people, the letters became legend. Local media got wind of it. A short segment aired on a regional news channel. But curiously, the segment never re-aired, and all footage of it disappeared within months. Some believe it was pulled due to sensitivity. Others claim someone made it disappear. The librarians, meanwhile, kept every new letter archived, hidden from the public. Alice Morrow's letters weren't always about disasters. Some were personal. One warned a man named James Thatcher not to board a specific bus. That bus later crashed in heavy rain. Another simply said, "Tell your mother you forgive her. It matters more than you think." The man who received that one? He never spoke about what happened next. Every letter had the same typeface, same paper, same signature. But postmarks? Always blank. It was as if the letters just appeared. Some arrived in the drop box, others inside returned books. One was reportedly found between the pages of a novel that hadn't been opened in years. No one ever saw Alice deliver anything. Security footage showed nothing. Even when they installed a camera, it would glitch, exactly 4 seconds before a letter appeared. Technicians blamed power surges, but the footage always failed only during those moments. Like someone, or something, knew when to interfere. In 2004, things took a darker turn. A letter warned of a murder, but gave no name, no place, only a time. 3:19 a.m. That night, a local woman was found dead in her bathtub. Her watch, recovered later, had stopped at 3:19 a.m. This was the first time Alice didn't try to prevent something. She simply reported it before it happened. By 2007, the letters stopped. No final message, no farewell. The last one predicted a sinkhole that swallowed a parked school bus, and ended with only 2 words. It begins. After that, nothing. For 17 years, until March 2024. A library intern cataloging old donations opened a forgotten box in storage. Inside, a new envelope, dated 2007, but never opened. The letter inside predicted the collapse of a bridge in Idaho. That bridge collapsed 3 days later. The ink was still fresh. The signature? Alice Morrow. How was that possible? The letter had been in storage for nearly 2 decades. No one touched it. It had been sealed. Some suggested forgery, but handwriting analysts confirmed it matched the others. And the paper was older than the event it described. Again, Alice was right. Online forums exploded with theories. Some claimed Alice was a government experiment. Others said she was a time traveler, trapped between moments. One user even claimed to be her, but posted only a string of binary that translated to, "Not yet. Watch the clock." Their account vanished hours later. Reddit users began cross-referencing the letters. Some found hidden patterns. A few claimed the dates aligned with solar storms or quantum anomalies. One message spelled out a phrase using the first letter of every sentence. "I am not alone." But whether that was intentional, no one knows. The librarians who archived the letters have all since died, except one. Martha Kellner, age 91, now in assisted living. When asked about Alice, she whispered, "She told me she'd write again." After the silence, when asked what that meant, she only smiled and said, "You'll see." In 2025, a researcher named Caleb Rourke digitized all 28 original letters. Using AI, he ran them through predictive analysis tools. What he found shocked even skeptics. The letters predicted over 40 unrelated global events with frightening accuracy. Fires, suicides, financial collapses, all written before they happened. But Caleb noticed something else. Each letter contained slight distortions, margins that didn't align, sentences that began mid-thought. Some were addressed to people who hadn't been born yet. One even contained GPS coordinates to a location that wouldn't exist until 2023. How did she know? The coordinates led to an empty field. But when Caleb arrived, he found something buried, an audio cassette. No label, no case. He played it. A woman's voice whispered, "I waited. You came. Now we begin again." It matched Alice's vocal profile, but no one knows how it got there. Some believe the letters were part of a larger plan, a test, a countdown. Others think Alice wasn't human at all, but a projection of something observing us from outside time. One theory says she appears where time folds, like a crease in a page, and leaves warnings in the margins. There are stories from other places now. Whispers of future letters in South Korea, Brazil, Turkey, each signed with a different name, but always the same pen, same paper, same message. It begins. Alice Morrow is more than a name now. She's a legend, a glitch in the story we think we're writing. Some say she was never real. Others believe she's watching, from some other point in time, waiting for the next moment to warn us. In May 2025, a live stream captured something chilling. A podcast host reading the letters live received an email midstream. No subject, no sender. Just a message. "Stop reading my words. You're not ready." The host ended the stream instantly. He never uploaded again. The IP address of that email? It didn't exist. It traced to a defunct domain, one that expired in 1999. Digital forensics couldn't explain how a dead domain sent a live message. But the email was real, and it ended with a single character. A symbol no one could identify. And then came the final known letter. Not to a library, not to a podcast, but to a child. 10 years old, no known connection. Inside it said, "Remember the name Alice Morrow. One day, they'll try to erase it." The child's mother never figured out who sent it. She kept it hidden in a drawer. That drawer was found by accident, during a renovation. The letter inside still smelled like old paper and lavender. But the date, it wasn't from 2007. It was postmarked August 18th, 2025. 3 months from now. How do you post a letter from the future? How do you deliver it before the event? How do you exist outside the clock? Some say Alice Morrow is proof of a fracture, a leak in the timeline we're not meant to notice. Others say she's warning us. That time isn't broken. We are. There's no verified image of Alice. No known voice recording. No handwriting sample. Only text. But when people describe her, they often say the same thing. I don't know why, but I feel like I've seen her before. Almost like a memory that doesn't belong to you. The letters are now in private archives. No public scans remain. No copies. They were pulled offline, quietly. Even Caleb Rourke disappeared. His last blog post read, "It's not a timeline, it's a loop." And we're reading her story backwards. No one's heard from him since. And yet, sometimes, an envelope still appears. In a bookstore, a park bench, a stranger's mailbox. Always blank, always sealed. Inside, a date, a location, a warning. And at the bottom, written faintly, Alice Morrow. So who is she? A ghost? A messenger? A fabrication we were never meant to believe in? Or is she something else entirely? The last echo of a future trying to reach us before it's too late. One thing is certain. If you ever receive a letter with no return address, read it carefully and don't look away.